Said should be on at 7:30. So
You're listening to Heritage Radio Network.
Todd Richards here, Roots, Hearts,
and Soul.
You are listening to Roots, Heart, and
Soul. Yeah,
Roots,
baby.
Heart, and Soul podcast.
Stephan and I are launching this podcast based off cookbook Roots, Heart, and Soul by myself, Todd Richards, with a great help from Chef Stephan.
We're going to be hearing stories from Africa all the way to the Caribbean, all the way to the Americas. It's going to be something special.
there it is.
What's up, buddy?
What's happening, my friend?
Number
Brother,
50,
almighty.
man.
I know,
Number
right?
50, man. Number 50, man. Listen, let me first say how much of a great adventure this has been. Not only working on the book with you, but on this podcast.
Man.
Yeah, the opportunity to create a platform that celebrates not only each other, but gives us the opportunity to tell our stories is incredible, man. Thank you for doing this with me, man.
I mean, it's so crazy to think about that. I mean, 50 episodes, so we got a year, year and some change,
Yeah, a year and some change.
Because we had some weeks off and everything like that. But also, so much of the world has changed, but so much of the world has come together. And I would be remiss to say that, that making your circle smaller concentrates or helps distill down the essence of what we're trying to accomplish here on Roots, Heart, Soul podcast. And I'm just happy as a damn lark, man. I'm just happy that we got through 50 and we get to change the world one bite at a time. So let's do it. Let's do it right.
One bite at a time, man. Let's do it correct. Let's
do it right. So welcome to Roots, Heart,
and Soul, baby.
Roots, Heart, Soul podcast. Todd, Chef Todd Richards, of course, the great Chef Stephan on Heritage Radio Network. And this is our 50th. 50, episode that we are doing here on the week before Thanksgiving 2025. So, Stephan, what's happening?
Let me say first and foremost,
yes,
this podcast would not be possible without the amazing talents, individuals. We've grown our family tenfold. Because of this podcast, and we want to take a moment just to thank them, and many of them are going to join us on stage as we go on, and I am excited just to see them before the holidays and just chat a little bit, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're in Vermont, right? Still?
I am in Vermont.
Okay.
It's cold,
yes.
but I've got my rum.
Right.
I've got my rum to help me keep me warm.
Wait. So does rum do the same thing in the summertime when it's hot? It keeps you cool too, right?
Oh hell yeah! Absolutely. You know it. And I'm gonna get to share with you guys a little cocktail that my grandfather used to make at home.
Okay.
My grandfather was my idol in so many different ways because of the type of individual he was, and he taught me how to make this little cocktail with just brown sugar, lime, and rum.
Okay.
And it's called tea punch.
Tea punch. All right. Tea punch. So are you making it now or are we going to get it later on?
Well, listen, I gotta pop the champagne first, man.
Oh, there you go. Let's do it right.
Yeah. I gotta do a little rosé. Little rosé first, it's bubbly, a little bubbly,
Right.
To start the 50th episode, and then we'll go into the rum.
Okay.
As we chime in with some of these amazing people that we have that are going to be on stage with us tonight.
So imagine, as we briefly recap before we bring everyone on, that the chefs, not only the chefs, because naturally as us as chefs, we gravitate to that. But we had people from the political realm, we had cookbook authors, we had writers,
we had media, we had I mean, we had so many people, man. Obviously, this podcast would not be possible without the partnership of Heritage Radio Network.
Naturally.
And we're gonna get a chance not only to speak to one of the executives of HRN, but we're gonna bring on our executive producer who's been with us from the get go.
Right.
He's been with us, man. Kicking it with us, and we got to give him his flowers as well. And then listen, it's been a really cool adventure. I got to. There are many guests that I got to meet because of the podcast.
Right.
Many whom I've met way beforehand, and many who I hope that because of this podcast, I get to meet face to face, very very much in the near future, man.
I would agree. I mean, the great thing about being on Heritage Radio, I mean, you think about, of course, we have Zella, whose family, Chicagoan and everything like that. And then we have, Taste of the Past, which I listen to all the time. And then there's another one, that Bread and Butter, dude, man. When you talk about bread and butter, I mean, that podcast is so special. So, I mean, it's really a great network to bring on. And, we can really make sure that when we're telling these stories, that we're also telling the stories, from another lens. And I encourage all our listeners tonight to make sure that if you're not subscribing to Heritage Radio Network, you're doing yourselves a disservice, because we have, a collective voice, but being individuals in our own voice is really important. So
Absolutely.
Let's go.
And then of course, make sure that you subscribe. The best way to support us is to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share, and send us some likes. Listen, man, I think it's I'm gonna put this in the universe.
Okay.
I am hoping that you and I can put together something that'll gather all of these talents that we've had so far and more into one place.
Absolutely. It'll happen. It always happens, because we're great like that. Let's get it started. Come on. Let's go.
First welcome Stacy, marketing director for HRN. Have a chat with her. Talk about what HRN is, what the vision is, and then of course, what do they have planned for 2026?
All right, sounds good. Armin, why don't bring Stacy on for us, please?
Stacy,
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Welcome to Roots Heart and Soul podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, especially on such a momentous occasion. It's really great to be on your show and for you to have me on. Thank you.
The pleasure's all ours. So, Stacy, tell us a little bit first about HRN and the vision and the story behind it, and then of course let's talk about the many beautiful podcasts that you guys have on this network, and then of course what do we have for 2026?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. So Heritage Radio Network started in 2009 as a pirate radio station behind a pizzeria in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It was really kind of this ad hoc grassroots thing. The slow food people were involved. It was food people from the neighborhood, friends and family kind of got together and just started talking. Then it became a radio station. And then as podcasting came into play, that's what it grew into. So what we did was set up a recording studio behind the pizzeria in a shipping container. So it was this kind of like scrappy piece together thing. And it was still there until about, COVID took it away, basically.
Right.
But it was kind of a crossroads where people would come through and hang out and chat and have these conversations. And really, almost so many people from the food world have been through Heritage Radio. Everyone from celebrity chefs to like a line cook doing something really cool to somebody like just doing doing donuts out of their living room, not their living room, the kitchen. So it's all different kinds of people. It's also, there's also, I think food you can tell any story you want through food because we all eat and food touches every single thing we do. And that's really what Heritage is about. It's about bringing all those stories together, the stories that the mission is to change the world through food, one story at a time. So if you tell these stories, then things change, minds open up, things happen. So some of the shows are adjacent to food. We have some agriculture shows that bring in different perspectives. There's drink too. There's a couple of different shows about alcohol, the business of booze and wine, and lots of cultural shows that touch on all the different aspects. I mean, food, you can go anywhere with food. So right now we have 40 shows. We say we're the largest food and drink culinary podcast provider in, I like to say the world, but that's a big claim. We think we're the
Right.
biggest.
Right.
That's a big claim, but we haven't found anybody bigger, right? So 40 active shows, and then the archives go all the way back to 2009. So you can imagine what's happened in the food world since then. So
I
that's
mean,
HRN.
one of the best, our close friend Nicole Taylor with Hot Grease, who really got me started on Heritage Radio when my first book Soul came out. And then Nicole talked about. So I mean, the archives are so. I mean, just. I think you could probably listen to the archives every day for the rest of your life and not hear the same story twice at this point.
It's so deep. I mean, I went to culinary school in 2005, so
Mhm.
like I knew about Heritage way back when, and Cherry Bomb and all that stuff.
Right.
Like all these shows. Japan, I love a Kiko show. Japan
Yeah, it's a
Eats.
Kiko,
It's
man.
so interesting. Like
Mhm.
just everything. Like whatever you're interested in, there's a show for you.
Yeah, that's great. I think that the other great thing about what Heritage Radio does is that it does not force podcasters to go into one lane, but what it does do, it does allow them to have a voice. And also what it does, also allows you to understand how to build policy based on the voices that you hear, which is very important, especially in this political realm. We just had a government shutdown. We just had people talking about, losing their SNAP benefits. All these things we cover in that side. But then the fun side, where, like our show, Roots, Heart, Soul, we cover those things in a broad scape, where we'll go into other parts of the world. Kiko's show goes there, of course. And then Zella's show, which focuses on a lot of the diaspora as well, but she's in New Orleans, so she has a whole different perspective of what's happening in the world, which makes it great.
Yeah, her show is amazing.
Mhm.
It's just so rich, and all of the hosts have careers and lives that are just incredible.
Mhm.
Like
Well,
you know,
Zella is a bag full of gems. I mean, she's got so much knowledge, um, so much experience in that world. The work that she's doing in New Orleans is absolutely amazing. And this is why I think this podcast makes it so interesting. Is we get to meet some of these people um, that maybe you haven't heard of, or maybe you have heard about them, and now you get to hear the incredible stories, um, their incredible story, and the work that they've been doing in this space for so many years. And I think for me, that's really the gem of this podcast.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Now tell us, Stacy, what is the mission? Um, I know there's a lot of changes that have been made with HRN. Um, I know there's some reshuffling that we've had to do, obviously. But what is the mission for 2026 for HRN? If you don't mind sharing with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's to keep growing and you know getting more shows in front of people. We have of the 40 shows we produce in-house about half, and there's about half that we syndicate. So, it's a good combination. So it's to grow in that regard and fill in the gaps of shows. Like we have a really good array of shows, but there's always more stories you can tell, right? So that's the goal, is to get more different types of shows in and to grow more.
Awesome.
And keep
Well,
telling me
Stacey,
important stories.
we appreciate you coming on a Tuesday before Thanksgiving. If you're like us, we're here, but we're also thinking
Absolutely.
about the next couple of days. And thank you so much for coming on. This
Be-
50th
bef-
episode.
Before you head out,
Okay.
please share with us how can people support HRN with your fundraiser, because we are a nonprofit organization.
Yes.
How can people support HRN through our network?
So you can donate through our website. It's heritageradionetwork.org. And also just listening to all the different shows, tap into the archives, because our revenue comes from our numbers. So just explore it and see what's in that archive, because it's so rich and so deep.
Well, Stacey, thank you for joining us tonight. It was nice having you. Thank you again to HRN for being a partner of Roots Heart Soul podcast. We're going to bring on, the guy that makes it all happen. What do you say, Todd? The guy behind the scene.
It is. I mean, now this is a real treat, because he hides from the camera, but I mean, we know what's going to happen as soon as he gets on. So,
absolutely.
Stacey,
join us.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Hey, chefs.
Hey, Armin.
Hey, world.
Hi.
All right.
Armin, 50 episodes in, my friend.
50 episodes, and we've been doing it, going on a year and a half, and, it's still going strong. It still feels brand new, fresh, and, like the best is yet to come.
Yeah, I know.
I've got a little surprise for you, Chef Todd.
What is it?
She's been your co-partner on this amazing book. I think she just showed up, so we need to bring her on too.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, hello, Amy.
Happy 50th.
Wait, it's Amy and friends.
Yes,
Hello.
Boy.
Yeah.
Now it's a party.
Amy is the wonderful and amazing writer, co-author of this incredible book that I got to work on with Chef Todd, called Roots Heart Soul Podcast. Welcome to our 50th episode.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's huge.
Right.
So Armin, give us a little background on what it takes to to coordinate this show and help us put it together.
Well, you guys are doing the magic and making sure that the show is as spectacular and informative and eye-opening as it is. I'm just here to make sure that you guys don't have any kind of technical snafus, and make sure that everything is lined up for streaming across all these platforms that we're on. But really, you guys are doing the magic.
Well, I mean, Armin, though, you make it sound so simple, but it really not. I mean,
listen, man, we couldn't do it without you, brother.
No, we couldn't do it, Armin.
And we so appreciate you and your patience with us and giving us, the technical knowledge to get this done properly. So we appreciate you immensely, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that, chefs. And
Amy!
It's my pleasure working on the show, and it's a lot of fun. This is the first show that I've worked on that has had like the live streaming component, and it really gives a kind of a soul, if you will, to the show, and it makes it feel very lively. So it's really thrilling to work.
That's the perfect pun, Armin.
Yeah,
that's the perfect pun. Yeah, and Amy, we go back, as well. And there's a lot of our friends' books you worked on, like Matthew Rayford, his book as well. But for our listeners who did not see our first episode, Amy was in our first episode.
Amy was the very first.
Right. And so we had to bring her on. I mean, just the understanding that we wrote this book in COVID, where we
Right.
couldn't see each other, talk to each other. Our publisher, had a lot of ups and downs, and not to say it was negative. It's just life, being, she had a baby. We had a different editor come aboard, and then she came back, and so we had to rework a lot of things, and we had like 75 names, of the book, and got down to this. I mean, just recap our listeners on the journey that we did to write the book, Roots, Heart, Soul.
Sure. I mean, we had our very first conversation, I think, right before. Like, I think it was March. I think
Right.
it was the first conversation was like March 2020. And then a
Wow.
week later, all of a
Right.
sudden, it was COVID. And, we have like these big ideas. We're like, oh yeah, we're going to go to Africa. We're going to go all these places. And like, then you couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
We had no idea how long it was going to take.
Yeah.
And so then we were like, okay, so let's think about how we're going to tell this story. So we didn't actually get to meet in person till almost a year after that first conversation.
And one thing I don't think that people understand in this, right? That we shot the photos for the book before we even finished the book, before we written the manuscript,
Right.
or
Well,
anything.
But that was because you had the recipe list. You had the
Right.
recipes.
Mm.
And we actually were working on the recipes, like testing the recipes in a home kitchen, your home kitchen, so that we could test them, write out the recipes so that we could write them kind of contiguous to the photography. So we were actually definitely photographing everything that we were putting in the ingredients.
I mean, that's not a typical way that you do a cookbook.
No,
Right?
usually you
Okay,
do the
so-
whole cookbook, test it, and then you photograph, and you actually have to usually tweak the recipes to match the photographs because they get styled and all this stuff. But we did it completely backwards.
Wow.
But so, and that was because that's when people could gather.
Right.
But what we ended up doing, which I think enriched the story a lot, was to be able to find the enclaves all over America. Little Senegal, little Haiti, little Havana, and Southside Chicago, and all of these places, because it truly is the story of American food and how it got here, and how it's this glorious amalgamation of different people, but like it was Todd's DNA that we followed and traveled geographically and historically. So it's not a normal cookbook. It's not set up like a normal cookbook, and we didn't think of setting it up like that. Immediately, we were kind of like, this has to tell a different story in a different way through food, and we found surprising things coming through Mexico and Texas and Virginia, and then how that traveled and Todd's family. And
I think one thing that before Stephan asks you some other questions, one thing that we have to tell people is that we overwrote the book.
Oh, way overwrote it.
Right?
They made us cut 100 pages.
Yeah.
We were like writing the tome,
Right.
but I don't regret overwriting at all, because
Right.
it helps us fully understand the story and also know where we could pull out for the next.
Well,
and
for the
and
next
continue
day.
the story, because the
Right.
story always continues.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it was kind of a crazy, the whole process of our editor going out on maternity leave earlier than planned, having another person come on, and then having her come back, and then and everybody was sort of finding their way, because COVID, there was no playbook.
And Clay Williams, who was not here, the photographer, I mean, he was, he had the same issues as a photographer. He had photo shoots lined up back to back to back. So he said, I have this, week I can do it.
Yeah.
And we did it. Go ahead, Stephan.
I think that's what makes this project even more worthwhile is the spins and turns and adjustments that you have to do. You know,
But it also allowed us to have you and Zilla and other people become part of it. Jackie Summer, like all the conversations we got to have around it, because we had to talk to people in different places because we couldn't go see them. And we couldn't visit with them until like much later in the process.
Well, let me say to both of you, this is an amazing book. I've read it through and through at least a couple of times already. The recipes are accurate and amazing, and and joining you guys on this little adventure through New York, Miami, and so forth was an absolute fun for me.
It was fun this past weekend. I actually sold 5 of the books this past weekend.
All right, let's go.
I got to do a little vendor market. I was like, well, I'm going to just take all my books. And I actually sold out everything. But someone came up to me and they're like, I bet you don't know what Picklets is. And I was like, oh, yes, I do.
I do.
Let me show you the recipe.
Amy, you know what Todd told me today?
Mm-hmm.
He said people are starting to think that I'm Haitian.
Yeah, that's what I did. Especially after this week. We'll talk about Creole Fest in a couple of minutes here, but what's happened in Atlanta this past weekend. But definitely, I don't know. I mean, I know John better than anybody. He is anyway. That's a whole nother story. I'll get off topic.
I mean, like I'm a beach spaghetti person.
Yeah.
Like I make beach spaghetti at all these family events and stuff like that. And for friends, like if we're doing a potluck, I like take a big old pot, and they're like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you."
Right.
And then I met somebody a few weeks ago who has Dominican heritage. I'm like, "So did y'all grow up having beach spaghetti?" And they're like, "You mean taking a big pot of spaghetti to the beach?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Always."
Always, right? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hey, Southside Chicago, we go get some fried fish, go get some spaghetti, sit there right there on Rainbow Beach. I mean, it's nothing like it. I appreciate both of you all so much.
Yes.
Again, taking the time, before the holiday, joining us on this 50th episode of Roots Heart Soul podcast on Heritage Radio Network. And Armin, of course, the producer extraordinaire behind the scene. Armin, you got a big task because now all the chefs are coming, all the people are coming. So keep your board busy.
We got more people. We got more people showing up.
Yeah, it's a party stream.
Hey. It's a celebration time through. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you all soon. Amy, see you soon. Have a good holiday. All right.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays. I got to go get a pie out of the oven.
All right.
Yeah,
That's the best way to end this segment. Roots Heart Soul podcast. Chef Todd, which is, of course, a greater Chef Stephan. Armin is here. Amy Condon is here, and we're really thankful for everyone for joining us on this 50th episode.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again for joining us.
Real quick before I leave, I just want to let you know, Chef Todd, I'm going to be making that peach cobbler with the butter pecan ice cream for.
Man! Let's go.
I'll let you know if I somehow royally screw it up, but hopefully.
The best thing about screwing it up is that you can do it all over again.
Yeah, exactly. And then I get the screw up one all to myself.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, chefs.
So, Stephan.
Yes, sir.
We're at the 30-minute mark on Roots Heart Soul Podcast, Heritage Radio Network. We're streaming live on Instagram and YouTube, of course. And then, you also can always find Roots Heart Soul Podcast on where streaming or podcasts are being listened to, such as Spotify and YouTube. So, Chef Stephan, what we have in this next 30 minutes?
I think we're going to bring on two incredible gentlemen, food festival producers. One is a chef. One calls himself a foodie. I'm not sure we give him a title yet.
Right.
But let's welcome our brother, Chef Gregory Collier.
He might be MIA. He'll be back.
And we're gonna introduce Mr. Extraordinaire, Mr. Fabrice Armand.
Fabrice Armand.
Hello, everybody.
Fabrice still down here in ATL, you know?
Yeah,
Yes,
man, ATL still got me over here, but you know what? I'm heading back home, heading back to New York City, baby.
Good.
Well, thank you for joining us on this 50th episode podcast. Congratulations over the weekend on the 3rd edition of the Creole Food Festival in Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
A huge success on the 8th edition in New York City.
Yes.
1,500 people.
Yes.
Creole Food Festival family is growing. Really a storyteller of the Pan-African diaspora, the talents, of the slew of talents that we have from Africa to the south of the the United States, to the Caribbean and Latin America. Anyways, man, we both want to congratulate you on an amazing festival.
Well, it's not only congratulating me, it's congratulating yourselves as well, because both of you guys have been instrumental in terms of being chef advisors to us, making sure that we get the right people on board, pulling my ear sometimes when it needs to be pulled, and just really kind of like helping shape the food festival that we are doing. And I think while the food festival was a great success and we're building Atlanta. All right, we see Gregory Collier here. All right, brother.
There he is.
Yeah.
Chef extraordinaire and producer of the amazing Bay Haven Food Festival. My brother.
Are
you good? Can you hear us?
I think he's having technical difficulties, but I think that while we deal through that, I think the storytelling in terms of the chefs that we had, from Joshua Lee to Gregory, not Gregory Collier, Gregory was last year, but from Joshua Lee to Chef Cappy to, and I could go on the list. We had about 16 chefs that were confirmed for the food festival. And that was in itself something incredible. But a little tidbit that I discovered about yesterday is that I was invited to the dinner of the legacy of the great Chef Evans. And as someone that did not know him, and just listening to the love, the outpour that you guys demonstrated for this brother, it was truly incredible for me to be there, to understand how he was not only just a mentor, but really left a legacy for culinary and chefs in general. So it was really great to see that. And we're going to be working with Chef Charlie Hatney to actually support that foundation and the work that he's doing with that, because that's incredible in itself.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing, that came out of that kitchen, that Chef Evans, had us all there. Had myself, Dwayne Utter, Daryl Schuler. Daryl Schuler is a certified master chef, and that looks like us, talks like us. Yeah, he got a big baritone voice, so when he walks in, you definitely know who he is. But also just understanding that the diversity in the way we prepare food, and that one man was able to give us our lane and our pathways, to cook. And you can tell distinctly, you could put all those plates down and know exactly which chef did it. And that's because Chef Evans was really key in honing our skills and understanding how to make us better chefs. So I appreciate you giving Chef Evans, and of course Charlie. I like I said, at the event, I don't know how Charlie gets us to come every year. Naturally, support Chef Evans and the Chef Evans Foundation and the scholarship, but also how he gets people there every year to give scholarships to young, up and coming Black and brown chefs, and in order to go to culinary school, but also to meet us and get into our kitchens. And if I can't, help you, I can send you here. I can send you to a Gregory Collier, or Keith Rose is coming up soon, or Kevin Mitchell is coming up soon, and Dwayne is also coming up soon on the podcast. So, and then we got this guy over here,
And the reason why I wanted to bring
Yeah.
those two gentlemen together, because
Right.
I believe that they have similar purposes. The production in this amazing food festival, the Bay Haven Food Festival, which really brought in a slew of Black and brown chefs from all over the country. Um, the 3 days that I spent over there in company of Gregory and Utah was downright amazing. Meeting Chef Keith Rhodes, with his oysters that I still got a taste in my mouth, sitting right on this side, right here. I mean, incredible. Chef Robert Butts with his lollipop lamb and roasted pig. Chef Joshua Lee. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
And then he's also an incredible chef and restaurateur in his city. Chef Gregory, what's up, man?
Chef Gregory.
Oh, I think
I think you muted yourself, buddy.
Y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, sir.
Listen, hold on. Listen, but I'm gonna have to mute and then unmute, then mute, then unmute. So let me ramble for a second. First of all, Todd, I mean, I know you've heard me say this a million times, but like you're the first chef that allowed me to see a possibility to not be like someone who didn't look like me, and still be excellent. So, and I'm pretty sure you always get your flowers and everybody, let you know that. But like, I don't say that because it sounds good on TV or radio or in an email or whatever. Like, I really mean that shit. I don't know. Hold on. Did I? Is it PG-13?
No, you're good.
Stuff. My bad. All right, that's it. That's the last one. we good. No more. But I really mean it. Because like, I reached out and you gave me the game, and because I met you and I was like, oh, he's from Chicago? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. Like, that's my real cousin. Like, he's from down the road. So, first of all, I appreciate you and Stephan putting this thing together, man, and have a real conversation with chefs, because I think it's super important for younger versions of us to see what it can be, because a lot of times we get locked up in who winning the James Beard Award, or who getting the Michelin star, or who on TV, or who these other chefs talking about. So it's super important for y'all to create a space for folks like us, guys and gals alike. So I appreciate y'all having me again, man. Anytime y'all need me, I'm there. So.
Hold on. Gregory's talking as though like he's not a big person himself too. Please, brother, I understand that you're humble, but we can't do that. So just because, again, there's one point that we're missing here as well too, because again, part of the reason why I created the Creole Festival was I was inspired about Stephan when he was doing the Haiti Food and Spirits Festival himself. So again, there's not, we were talking about two people that are doing food festivals, but Stephan actually gave me the idea and actually made me be around all these chefs, that whether it is Digby, whether it's Erica Davis, whether it is Gregory Gourdet, whether it is Todd, whether it is DJ Dennis. This is where the whole idea for me came from too. So we also have to give you your flowers, Stephan, because again, you've been doing this work for quite a while. And also too, I'll be honest with you, Gregory, one of the things that I did this year when we were actually trying to revamp, I looked at Bay Haven and the work that you guys are doing to be able to actually tweak some of the things that we needed to do as well. So you are an inspiration to me, and you are touching people in ways that you don't even know about through us and being fans of yours as well.
I mean, the great thing about food and the foodways and the pathways that we are not a monolith, as we discuss. We all have our own path, but we all always have resources in order to come back. And people ask, as busy as our lives are, why is this, podcast? Why do we have Roots Heart Soul podcast on Heritage Radio Network? It's because we have to be a connecting voice outside of just our restaurants. And we have to be a connecting voice not only for our community, but we have to introduce people to our community that don't necessarily understand exactly who we are and what we do, as well as that we have to have a safe space for us to have these conversations, and these really hard conversations about, where the future of food goes. How do we ensure that, the legacy of food continues to move forward? How we keep, misogynistic, values out of the kitchen, where not only our chefs can of masculine heritage come from, where women have a safe space to come into our kitchens, work in our kitchens, thrive in our kitchens, lead our kitchens, and move those things forward, such as Erica Davis, and people like so. So again, it's really, it's about us individually, but collectively we have a whole movement. And I really appreciate you all guys coming on, for this 50th 50.
Absolutely,
Congratulations.
But I'm gonna say this more than I've said it a bunch of times, is that you and I both believe in the same thing. It is not because you shine the light on your brother, on your colleague, on it, that your light is dimmed because of it. As a matter of fact, I think when you are able to see the bigger value in togetherness and supporting each other and working with each other, even though we all have our own lane that we're fighting our everyday battles, but I think together we are so much stronger. And if we can create a community of Black and brown chefs across the globe that collaborates, that supports each other, that claps for each other, that celebrates each other, our light is going to bright shine.
Absolutely. Well, again, fam, we call each other fam for a reason, but I appreciate you all. Chef, like you in service, so I know you need to get back. Hey.
I saw that too. I saw that service face. I saw that service face. I was like,
We all know what that looks like. And then, of course, Fabrice,
I can't help you here. Look at it. So I'm at work, but I that's why I logged in at 6:50. I said, listen, I got to get these sweet potato pound cakes together. So it's going to take me about 30 minutes to get them together. So I can log in, go do what I need to do, and then we'll come in here and I'm chatting as long as I need to. Now, I'm at the hotel today, so we a little slow. Ain't nothing too crazy. I'm trying to get stuff done for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna cook a real good Thanksgiving for everybody who's gonna be at the hotel working today. I mean Thursday. I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be at home, my folks, but I am gonna make sure they eat turkey, dressing, collard greens, sweet potato pancake, and all that. So I'm good. I'm gonna hang out as long as I need me to hang out.
Can you put some of these pancakes in the mail, please, sir?
Hey, I think he can, Chef, but his earphones are not working, so we got to move forward. We got 20 minutes left here on this 50th episode.
We're gonna bring with gentlemen. We love you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
We can't thank you enough. We're gonna bring on two OGs, Chef.
Yeah.
Two big OGs. I'm talking, high level OGs.
You're pivoting. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, we're gonna be bringing high level OGs to the stage.
Okay, all right.
All
right, let's go.
I'll let you introduce this gentleman.
There he is.
While I introduce this gentleman over here.
Right. Now this is some high cotton, as they say in the South.
This is when I make my drink.
Yeah, this is some high cotton, as they say in the South. And one thing that I appreciate Fabrice, talking about Chef Evans, because if anybody or any group of us then know Chef Evans, that's on here right now. Kevin Mitchell, of course, me and D go back so much. He knows. All my kids, he was with me when I thought I had some other kids, and they weren't mine, So,
Chef Evans' son at the bar.
Is he? Oh wow.
His oldest.
His oldest son at the bar, man. It is so crazy to have Kevin Mitchell, Dwayne Nutter, Roots Heart Soul Podcast, Heritage Radio Network on the 50th. And Kevin, I just got the book, dude.
He did that, didn't he?
Dude.
I appreciate
And
that.
then
I got a new encyclopedia.
and D with his book.
I gotta get my copies of both of you gentlemen.
All right.
You know,
So
and I'm
I
making my
mean,
little cocktail here. You know,
I
a
mean,
little rum barbacoa.
right,
You know, directly from Haiti, 5-star.
right.
Love it.
A little brown sugar, and then a couple of squeeze of limes gives you what I call a tea punch.
The T punch, huh?
Bam, bam.
Yeah.
To you gentlemen.
All right.
Salute.
So D, I know you in service as well. Let's start with you first, so you can get back to service. You know, I appreciate you, man. I mean, like we were together yesterday. Hell, we seen each other the last 3 days more than we saw each other
Last year.
the whole year. You know. So D, tell us what's happening at Southern National. I mean, I just want everyone to know what you're doing over at Southern National.
Oh, I ain't doing much of nothing but telling my story. It confuses people that I'm a black dude with an Irish last name and a German middle name, and I was born in Louisiana, raised in Seattle.
Right.
But that's who I am, and that's what I cook.
If anybody ever sees us together, you hear me say Sherney, I'm only talking to one person.
Yeah.
That's
The
that
big old
black
black Irish dude.
You know.
So yeah,
you know, I'm going to take this opportunity, gentlemen. You know, I love to throw stuff in the universe, and hopefully they land where they may. I think we need to put together an event with all three of you, all three cookbook authors, all three OGs, all three amazing and incredible individuals and chefs. And we need to have a cookbook party.
Absolutely, sounds good.
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it in the universe right now, and then we'll discuss it, you know, afterwards and all that, and we'll figure out a way to put the logistics together and do this right.
Absolutely.
I'm with it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Kevin Mitchell, my friend, dude, man. I mean, Kevin is what you call a chef's chef, and the reason why I say that, right? He just steady as he goes. He tells the stories, you know, and you look up and it's like, damn, that's good. You know, damn, that's good. And if you remember, I was at the Ritz Buckhead, and that dinner we did, and that Berrouet spice you did, right? And I said, Chef, what's that recipe? He looked around like, you know, I
Who you
don't know. I
talking
ain't
to?
gonna. I don't know if I can give you. I don't know if I can give you that. You know.
But I tell you what, man. When last year, when I first met Chef Dwayne for the first time, he didn't know me from a can of worms, but he gave me one of those hugs, brother. That said, "Welcome to the family," and that's how I felt when I met him. And I know when I get to meet Chef Mitchell, it's gonna be the same thing. I can't wait to meet you, brother. I've been following you for a very long time. I've seen the beautiful work that you have done, and again, it is because of you guys that we continue this amazing process of creating the next generation. And I think we need.
I'm sorry.
You know, I think that's one of the most amazing things that can happen when we are not gatekeepers of our own stories.
Absolutely. So, Kevin, tell us what's going on with the book. I mean, because the cover is absolutely. I opened it up and I closed the package back. I was like, damn, you know, he did it again. But tell us what's going on with the book.
So, you know, the book came out in August.
Give us the name. Give us the name. You know, let everybody know, right?
I'm gonna do this.
Oh, yes.
Taste the State, Georgia. Distinctive foods and stories for where eating local begins. So, it's been out since August. Doing really, really well. And as an extension of the book, David and I have just wrapped up, our TV show that will air sometime next year. And so be looking out for, it's called the Savors of Flavor. So what, like we do in the book, the premise is that we're going to go out through the South and save the flavor of what Southern food was, what it is, and what it will be years from now. So it's all about heirloom ingredients. It's all about rediscovering them. It's all about encouraging people to reach out to farmers and producers to say, hey, I saw these two guys driving around looking for the only variety of cherry that grows in the South. Where can I get it? Who can I get this tree from so we can reintroduce these things back into the culinary landscape? So we just, like I said, we shot the first season. We're in post production right now, working through some things. And May of 26, episode 1 will air on
Wow.
ET and PBS.
Amazing.
So, and that's just, the extension of the Georgia book and, the South Carolina book. And, there could be book number 3. We've been asked to think about it. We want to kind of wait and see how book 2 does and how the TV show does. But if we do, that book will be on Tennessee. And then we'll move into North Carolina, Virginia.
No, we're not waiting and seeing. We're proclaiming right here on Roots Heart Soul Podcast, here to the Radio Network, that book 3 is coming out.
Absolutely.
And we're going to go ahead and make it done. So all our listeners, subscribers, make sure you purchase it.
Let's drink to that.
South Georgia, and ensure. I'm gonna toast to that. Everybody raise their glass on this one. And one thing that Chef, Mitchell, there was a stigma that people say, that chefs cook, have restaurants, and chefs that can't cook teach, and you broke that whole mold. Literally, you broke that entire mold of that stigma about culinary instructors. We need more culinary instructors, especially talking about the food of the heritage and what you're talking about. And honestly, I was a person who said, don't go to culinary school. But when I met you, I said, for those who really need it, they got to go find you, man. So I truly appreciate your contribution.
I appreciate that. And I mean, you're right. That whole saying is as old as time. And when I decided to leave the business per se and become an instructor, it was more just like I felt like I needed to pay back to the people that taught me. So specifically, I always talk about Chef Evans. I got to meet him right after he won the gold medal from the
You're damn right. Come on, say that.
And first black chef to do that. And I remember growing up, I got into this business because I was watching the Culinary Olympics on TV, and there were no black chefs competing. And at that point, I said, well, black people, we've been cooking all along. Like, why are we not there? So it was like, I want to be the first black chef to compete. And, of course, Daryl beat me to it. And I remember when we first met, I was like, you know what, Chef, I'm mad at you. And he's like, why are you mad at me? You just met me. I was like, because I wanted to be the first black chef to compete in the Culinary Olympics. And he just looked at me and put his arm around my shoulder and was like, Chef, in this case, there's nothing wrong with being number 2. And that.
Oh, wow.
That sounds like something you would say.
That sounds like him, right?
We stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, appreciate both of you. Do you get back to service? Kev, man,
Yes,
the book
sir.
is spectacular. All right. Love you both, man.
All right.
All right.
Talk
Appreciate
to
it.
you soon, brothers.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Take it easy.
All right.
Happy 50th.
Happy 50th. Let's go.
Thank you.
All right. Come on now. Come on, Chef. We got to keep rolling. We got to
Yes,
keep rolling.
yes.
We got 5 minutes left.
And look what we have here.
Oh, wow.
Look what we
Oh,
have
God.
here.
Oh, my goodness. So we might have to keep going a little bit more. All right. There he is. Oh, wait. We got the young and what are you both young? Both of y'all. I mean, looking so fresh and so clean, you know? You know?
So fresh and so clean.
Yeah. I mean,
Both amazingly talented chefs. Brother Meeks, congratulations on your grand opening of your new restaurant.
Yes.
Eduardo, I know you just came back from an amazing trip. You know, I see you keep pushing the products. I'm learning from you. I'm starting. Hey, listen, I'm starting to put together my line as well.
Absolutely.
Wait, Stephan, hold on a second. I'm trying to look at Eduardo's background. I'm trying to see where Roots Are Soul is.
I got old.
I see soul, but he's missing a book. So we got to make sure that's high priority.
We're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to do something about that, huh?
Right. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Stephan.
And then we're gonna have to send him as well.
Right.
Our spices.
Oh yeah.
Right. Definitely.
So we have started our Roots Heart and Soul spice line, and we're going to continue developing that line with some new products. But we've got some great products, and we'll make sure that you guys both get some, and all the chefs and guests that have graced us on the podcast. Chef Meeks, tell us about the restaurant. Tell us where you know when is the big date?
It's a first sneak peek. We're going to be open to the public December 9th. Murray's Creole Pub here in Louisville, Kentucky. I met Chef Todd here in Louisville. I went to high school with TJ. And
TJ is Todd Jr. That's my son. So
nice.
Yeah. So like really, as soon as TJ and I met, he said his dad was a chef. And in high school, they don't teach you that chef is, that's a respectable career and that's something you can build something out of. So I kind of clung to Todd and followed him to Pig and the Pearl in Atlanta.
Yep.
And, I've been following him ever since. I look up to him as a mentor. So.
Well, in the words of Star Wars, you were once the student, but now you're the master. So you don't need to look up to me anymore. You just need to keep blazing the trail that you're doing right now. And I tell everyone, being a chef is not about how many restaurants you open or how much money you make. It's about the people and the lives that you influence in that kitchen and how you build a legacy from them moving forward. And I can't tell you, enough. And I'm saying it publicly here that I am immensely proud of what you're doing and look forward to coming up there, eating your restaurant as well as standing side by side with you in the kitchen, cooking some food and showing the world how great you are.
Chef Eduardo, I would be remiss if I did not mention how touched I was when I saw the videos that you had posted on Facebook.
Oh man!
I reached out to you right away.
You did
because I think this is a conversation that needs to be had on a bigger platform. This is a conversation that we need to have as Black and brown chefs, and understand what happens when certain things don't, are against us.
Absolutely.
And honestly, man. I had tears in my eyes when I listened to the story, when I listened to your story and what you had to go through, and it broke my heart.
Yeah. It was a touching story, and honestly, I really appreciated you reaching out. It was a long time coming for me to share my piece, my story. You know, it's Chef Weeks, like, you know, protect yourself, brother. As you rise, like it's only going to get harder. You know, you surround yourself around Chef Todd Richards. Make sure you have a lot of them in your circle to make sure that they're pointing you in the right direction. You know, as a young Black chef, I didn't have that mentorship. I didn't have someone that can guide me along the way. Being way up here in Seattle is kind of like living on the island compared to, you know, living in New York and Atlanta and Houston and Florida. You know, I'm on an island with not many people that can guide you. And, you know, it's make sure you have these protective shields around you, because as you're working hard, it can easily come crumbling down and in a heartbeat, you know?
But one thing, Chef, I want you to understand is that you have us.
Yep.
You have us. So, Creole Food Festival, Fabrice was just on, and we did the media party here at a restaurant I'm opening called Curiosity here in McDonough, south suburb of Atlanta. And that media party, I was sitting back there cooking, and I had on my, beautiful leather apron and all that stuff. And the T-shirt I wore under that was freaking June Baby.
Word.
I wore your T-shirt, the one that you handed me at the restaurant when I came up there to Seattle. I wore that, in honoring you. So I want you to know, the reason why we had this podcast to let us know. I mean, there's a lot of things we want to, teach the public about what we're doing, but also as a community of chefs, that none of us are alone.
Yeah, appreciate that.
I'm gonna ensure that episode 51 in 2026, we're gonna come back, have you back, and we're gonna tell this story. And we're gonna make sure that we, not only you give mentorship to other people, but we allow you to speak to our audience and tell that story, because it's such a great story. And not to only say the food is freaking good. Everything I ate that day, I'm like, damn.
Well, he had me at Piclis, so
I'm like, damn.
He had me at Piclis, but I had been following him way before that. So we're gonna have to make sure his Piclis is on point, though.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I'll put it to the test anytime, my brother.
Okay. Piclis challenge. Piclis challenge.
We're gonna have to make sure his Piclis is on point.
All right, so we got 30 seconds here, with this segment, Roots Our Soul podcast. Both of you all here, any advice you can give to any of our listeners on this holiday weekend that we're doing? I mean, it's such a festive weekend, and everyone wants to know about turkey. And there's a lot of I'm looking at the comments. I'm looking at the comments, and the questions people are asking about. What is the best way to cook a turkey?
Ooh, I give my
break it down.
Right?
Break it down. Roast the breast separately from the legs and the wings and everything else. Braise the legs, braise the wings, braise the thighs, roast the breast.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I do mine a little bit different. I agree on the breaking down, because you can control temperature in cooking. But if you don't have the ability to break it down, I do a 2-step method. One, brine it, first of all. Brining is most important. 2, my method is I start at like a 450-degree oven after drying this chicken out and putting turkey in the oven. And that's for about 45 minutes only. And from there, I turn the oven down to 250 degrees, and I go take a nap for about 3 to 4 hours and wake up.
And
it's ready.
Now we got to have a whole episode on that, because it sounds. I've never heard that.
You walk away from this turkey, and it's perfectly moist.
I like this better.
Yeah, I'm listening to you gentlemen. I'm listening to you gentlemen talk.
Yeah,
and even though in my culture, the Haitian culture, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I as I've been living in the U.S. for such a long time, I've learned to appreciate not the celebration itself, but what it means to what it means to gather together.
It's the gathering part,
and eat at a table together and share a meal together. And I think that's the one thing that is most important to me, because when we gather in Haiti on Sundays, we gather as a family, and the family can be 30 plus. And my grandmother has been cooking for 2 days. And let me tell you,
Yep.
boy, there's some food on the table.
Oh, right.
There's some food on the table.
Shout
And
out
that's
to
what
you again. I love you both dearly. We love you both dearly. Thank you all for this holiday weekend.
yes. Happy holidays, everyone.
50th episode Roots Our Soul podcast, Heritage Radio Network. Chef Lawrence, opening, man, just call me. Anything you need. And you know what? You can call any chef that's been on this podcast, and they'll all give you lock them in. All right. All right.
Thank y'all so much, man.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Greg, I miss you. I miss you, Greg.
Oh man, just for fun.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an unbelievable celebration. A celebration of brotherhood, of sisterhood, of friendship. I couldn't say it any other way. What an adventure this has been, the last 50 episodes, and we cannot wait 2026 to bring you even more. Roots Hard Soul is taking it up another notch. If you think you saw something in 2025, get ready for 2026. Chef Todd, I can't tell you, brother, how much it has been a pleasure, an adventure doing the show with you. But most of all, we want to thank every single person who popped up tonight to celebrate with us and who came on the platform to tell their story. This is just the beginning. Tune in every Tuesday, 7 p.m. We will let you know when we get back and when we get started for season 4 on Roots Heart and Soul podcast on Heritage Radio Network. Chef Todd, last words?
Chef Stephan, let me tell you something, my friend. It's been a long and delicious journey. You already got the glass up. I'm going to raise my glass here to you. It is important that anyone who's listening to Roots Heart Soul podcast on Heritage Radio Network, that you have the ability to tell your own story and ensure that in telling your own story that you have friends, you have family. And we want to welcome anyone who wants to tell that story to Heritage Radio Network as well. We want to make sure that we ensure that all voices in the food world have safe spaces to talk amongst ourselves, and that 2026 is going to be a different era of food and beverage moving forward.
It's going to be delicious.
Right?
You better bet your bottom dollar on that.
I bet on dollar. So, in typical and fantastic way of Roots Hard Soul podcast, Stephan,
we bid you good night. We bid you good night. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. We are grateful. Please make sure you follow us on Roots Hard Soul podcast, Chef Todd Richards, Chef Stephan.it, and then, of course, on YouTube. Listen to us on your favorite podcast, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and of course, Heritage Radio Network. Thank you for joining us, and have a blessed night.
You're listening to Roots Heart Soul podcast on Heritage Radio
Network.